Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, what I'm going to be looking into is the Waking Titan ARG and the debate going on right now regarding the potential end to Waking Titan once the next update releases. This is a fairly current topic right now in the community, and as always, I would love to chip in and give my thoughts on it. So with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. So Waking Titan has been around for basically a year. What began as a simple website which people doubted was even related to No Man's Sky has now become a well-recognized and loved aspect of our community. A lot of us now would find it hard to live without the ARG, and many consider it the best thing which has happened to No Man's Sky. But quite clearly, not everything can last forever. It's a sad truth, and unfortunately, a lot of people believe that Waking Titan is nearing the end of its lifespan. But why is this? Is this even accurate? Does this hold any weight? Let us discuss. A good place to start when looking at this question is looking into why Waking Titan was even created. Now, of course, we don't know the true intentions behind the ARG being made. One could argue it was publicity, others could argue it was to please the community. We don't really have a definite motive. But the one thing which we do know for certain is that Waking Titan's main purpose in existing was for Hello Games to indirectly communicate with the community, but in a lore-friendly and exciting way. We know this due to the way Hello Games are as a game development team. They're inclusive, they're shy, and they don't really like to create a whole scene over No Man's Sky. This is partially due to the backlash at launch, but it's also simply how they make games. It's just how they are. They prefer to create rather than talk about it. That is a famous quote which Sean Murray always likes to bring up. For Hello Games, Waking Titan acted as a means of letting the community know that they still existed and still cared about us, but without straight up talking to us. The usefulness of this can always be debated, but it goes without question that this is mainly why Waking Titan existed and continues to exist. However, this is when things start to become difficult and challenging, because recently with the announcement of Next and an Xbox One release, Hello Games and especially Sean Murray have been way more vocal than usual, with Sean frequently talking on Twitter and him appearing on the Xbox livestream to give us straight up details on Next. We haven't had this kind of communication since launch, and it's honestly great, but this raises an interesting question. If Sean Murray and Hello Games are now confident enough to tell us details on No Man's Sky straight up, then surely Waking Titan is now redundant. If its primary focus was to keep the community informed to a certain extent, then surely Sean Murray can just do a better job by just doing what he did recently. Of course, it does come down to personal preference, and it does differ on the situation. Some days I absolutely love working with Waking Titan to find out little hints and bits of information. It's exciting, it brings the community together, but other days I kind of just don't want to do it. I'm not really in the mood for it, and I wish that we could just know something for definite instead of trying to work for it or speculate madly about it. This is the same issue with the community as a whole, because some people adore Waking Titan whilst others have absolutely no time for it and would prefer a much more traditional method of communication. It is a very subjective thing, and I suppose that's what makes it hard to decide on what Hello Games' intentions are. Obviously, the best course of action would be to continue the straight up information that we've received earlier for the future, but keep Waking Titan as something to keep us busy in between updates. Either way, if Hello Games and Sean Murray continue their recent trend of talking to us face to face, no hidden ambiguous information, then Waking Titan doesn't have nearly as much impact as it would have with radio silence. It would frankly kill the need to work on Waking Titan because we already know all the details on what's coming, so why bother trying to solve puzzles to get an answer we might already know. Another major point is how the Waking Titan website now has all of its glyphs unlocked. These glyphs were a major driving force behind the whole ARG, and if they are all going to be solved very soon, then what does that mean for Waking Titan? You do of course have where to possibly continue the story, and there does seem to be a shift in focus to where, but how much more can they realistically add to the ARG until it becomes more of the same thing? It would make a bit more sense to end it on a high with people interested than drag it on until it becomes boring and unliked, sort of like The Walking Dead actually. We also have the issue of cost, which probably isn't that big of a deal, but it's still something to consider. I mean, it cannot be cheap to keep a professional ARG running for another couple years, especially when Hello Games are continuing to work on the game with new content updates. This probably isn't even a worry for them, I guess you could say, as you know, Xbox is going to bring a shit ton of revenue in, and they probably still have a ton from launch, but it cannot last forever. Finally, there is also the possibility of Next being such a good fucking update that it means No Man's Sky doesn't even need an ARG. We know that multiplayer is going to be a major focus of Next, and will fully flesh out the whole system to allow for our community to finally play alongside each other with hopefully a lot of gameplay to experience. Now, if this is the case, then No Man's Sky may never actually get dull or desperate for an update. Waking Titan was always the thing which we turned to when No Man's Sky had become a bit dry. You know, that thing that reminded us that we had a community and so on. It really did reinforce the community spirit. It brought people together, it allowed people to talk to each other and, you know, work stuff out as a collective. But if No Man's Sky will be a fully multiplayer game after Next, then Waking Titan needn't exist. Therefore, it seems reasonable to assume two things. First, if Waking Titan were to continue, a significant portion of it may be done through multiplayer, because the technology now exists to actually, you know, play with other members of the community. The concept of doing the ARG outside of the game isn't as appealing to some as doing it inside the game. And second of all, Waking Titan may simply cease to exist. We may be so busy enjoying Next and playing No Man's Sky that we won't feel the need to rely on Waking Titan for something to do. That safety blanket isn't necessary anymore because the game is finally what we all wanted at launch. But that is all just my opinion, so guys, please do let me know what you think on the matter in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot signing out.